The Steam Workshop for Space Engineers 2 has arrived. Yes, everyone, this is the day we've all been waiting for. Even though developer Keen Software House originally did not plan to include the Steam Workshop, thanks to community feedback from all of you watching, the decision was eventually changed, and here we are. Today, we'll explore this kind of small update. Greetings everyone, I'm Captain Jack. This is Space Engineers 2. Before we begin, I would really appreciate it if you'd click the link in the video description and watch my video from last week. I discuss a situation with the Space Engineers developers that really needs a wider conversation. Thank you for the support on that video. It has been fantastic to talk with many of you about this issue and how it's affected me as a creator. Thank you once again for taking the time to show your support. Hopefully we learn more soon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more sci-fi gaming videos. At the end of this video, I will also discuss the state of Space Engineers 2. Yes, this game is in early access, but there are many opinions about it. Today is actually the first time I have launched the game since January 27th, which says something. Oh, and for those of you asking, no, you still cannot close the doors in-game. Maybe we'll get a major update for that, but hey, still no doors. I know, I'm disappointed as you all are. Maybe we should start a movement. Hashtag door gang or something like that? I don't know, I'll leave it up to you. That would be kind of funny to see though. Anyway, come join my Discord via the link below. I know many of you are asking about future updates for SE2. We don't have any confirmed dates at the moment. Unfortunately, the roadmap has not changed as of the release of a Workshop update. The CEO of the development team says that hopefully before the end of 2025, we'll see the big survival update for Space Engineers 2. So we have the Steam Workshop in-game right now. This operates as you would expect, allowing you to share and explore blueprints and worlds directly inside of Space Engineers 2. Now hold your horses. Mod support, so like a bunch of custom stuff, maybe someone even making working weapons, or perhaps closing doors, is not in game yet. This is planned for update 1.5. Today is update 1.1, just so you know how far we have to go. As a reminder, Space Engineers 1 Steam Workshop is the 4th largest on Steam. Now this does make you wonder why the game developer originally wanted to use another platform as opposed to the Steam Workshop. Still, it is the hope that the second game will one day surpass the original game. To publish your creation to the Steam Workshop, when you're in game, simply look at it, press Ctrl B, that's Ctrl B, make sure to name it and then share it to the workshop. Simple, right? As an example, I uploaded this to the Steam Workshop for a laugh. You can go check it out if you want, but it's keen ship anyway, so hey ho. At the time of recording this video, the community has already begun uploading their fantastic creations to the workshop. You can go and check them out if you want some building inspiration or just to play with somebody else's ship. Now remember, if you are taking inspiration or taking a part of somebody else's build, remember to give credit if you choose to use someone else's creation in your own work. This is super important in a sandbox and creative game like Space Engineers. Currently, the development team is saying more content will come later when it comes to the workshop, like workshop collections inside of a game. They still sort of work in Steam, but inside of a game, not yet. Other enhancements are also due. The dev team has said they wanted to give people the Steam Workshop as soon as possible and did not want to delay this release. As such, several systems are still a work in progress, it would seem. One of these issues, if we class it as that, is that published items are public by default, so that might bother some people. The blueprint screen refresh can be slow in some cases. It should be fixed in another update. Another is that your own private items on Steam are currently not visible in the in-game Workshop browser, just keep that in mind. There's a whole list of other items that aren't currently working or needing to be improved, and you can find it via the developer blog post. While this update may seem small or underwhelming, as it is just a basic introduction of the Steam Workshop, there are a few other changes that some of you might find beneficial. One of these is mouse sensitivity controls and the inverted mouse setting. I've seen several of you requesting this, so now you have it. Sadly, keyboard and mouse controls are not fully customizable at the moment. This is still planned for a future update. We have no estimated date at the minute. I know many of you are asking for HOTAS support. If you want that, you need to make the developer aware of it, make your voice heard, give them feedback via the development site, feedback into their comments, that's how it goes. Next, we have improved grid pasting mode. This mode makes it easy to place and align copied grids and blueprints. When pasting, you'll now see a grid projection in your clipboard, complete with a bounding box selection effect. A new pasting banner will indicate when you're in pasting mode, whether you've copied a grid with Ctrl-C, pressed Ctrl-V with a grid in your clipboard, or performed a partial grid copy. There's also improved pivot controls. This just gives you more control when copying and pasting in game. In what is something that probably should have come at the early access launch, as many of you have mentioned in the comments, you can now rename your world, enable or disable autosaving, and access backups all in one place on the world screen. Okay, let's talk about a missed chance, as I saw many of you commenting about this in the live stream and also in my Discord. While this update is obviously focused on the Steam Workshop and community, I was expecting a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate the Steam Workshop being added. In theory, this should have the power to really push Space Engineers 2 further. But, with that said, I think this would have been a great update to introduce a new block or something for players to use on their builds. Something simple would have worked. If we want to dream about our best case scenario, which probably would never happen, introducing the conveyor system would have been great, but that does appear like it's not done yet. Still, we could have had some basic new blocks introduced from Space Engineers 1. It's nothing major, it's just something to give the players while other things are in development. Let's remember that major features like weapon blocks, so turret, guns, launchers and whatever else, are still not on the Space Engineers 2 roadmap, which some do find disappointing and worrying. Let's ask, should Space Engineers 2 have been released in January? Look, before people start typing their comments, 1. This is an early access release. Yes, that means a version of it has been released. 2. We're all welcome to our opinions on this. At the end of the day, Space Engineers 2 is a paid product, early access or not. You're paying money for a game which to some still feels a bit too early access to be released, especially with not many features introduced at this current state. To their credit, the development team have been transparent about the current state of the game. SE2 was released in January. Here we are over a month later, we're on March 10th with the Workshop update. Personally, I have been questioning if it was worth releasing Space Engineers 2 so early on to the public community. Look, it's good to say a lot of people wanted to jump in, play the game, experience, and test the new systems. But in terms of actual features to make this a game, many have highlighted that it does feel like a tech demo at the moment. A tech demo in the context that players only have extremely limited systems to play with, like the 25cm grid system. A lot of the creations people design, like smaller mining ships, will need to be rebuilt and redesigned when the survival update, or conveyors, are finally added to the game. I don't want this to be seen as complaining, it is just highlighting facts that people have mentioned in the last few months. Now I love the 25cm grid system, the detail you can build is fantastic, but given the lack of blocks and systems in game right now, I do question whether SE2 should have released into early access at a later date. Was it really worth releasing this early on in 2025? Yes, Keen did get feedback and have been transparent about that to a degree, but Keen do also have a closed testing group where people can give feedback on the game's critical systems and anything, providing it does align with the developer's vision, it would seem. Be aware of that if you do give negative feedback. The decision to release so early on, with limited features presently in-game, could be reflected by the current player count of Space Engineers 2. If we look at Steam Charts and SteamDB as two core information sources, the player count is not ideal for Space Engineers 2 right now. This could reflect the lack of things to do in-game. At the time of writing this, just before the Workshop update drops, the 24-hour player peak has been 84 players, and that's on the weekend when people typically have more time. At the time of writing, only 45 players were online. In the last week alone, only a 91 player peak on the 3rd of March is highlighted. In some ways, this could be quite concerning to the development team. Lower player numbers generally indicate a lack of interest in a project and game. Hopefully, with today's Steam Workshop update, we do see a rise in the number of players testing out Space Engineers 2. It's my hope, and I imagine a lot of you watching, that it does boost the game up further and there is more to do. It should give players a little bit more to do, but we are still lacking some core features. Ultimately, I hope the introduction of the Steam Workshop for Space Engineers 2 will attract more attention to the game. More people playing equals more issues and bugs being highlighted to the development team. This is what will make the game succeed in the long run, hopefully, providing the development team and leadership actually listen to the community's feedback and don't simply dismiss it. It will be fun to watch how SE2 progresses throughout the year. In the meantime, let me know what you think of this update in the comment section below. Oh, and also, as I mentioned at the start of this video, don't forget to watch my recent video on some of the issues I've had with Space Engineers and the developer. It's linked down below. Don't forget, you can join my community Discord server to share your Steam Workshop creations in the Space Engineers channels. For now, I've been Captain Jack, Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.